Good morning, everyone. How are you today? Um, I'm just sitting out here reflecting. I have my little chicks over there. They're kind of hiding out, and this is really Joe's project. The chickens out here, and of course, uh, we jokingly, I get to be the executive chef in the kitchen. I guess I get to be the um, executive director of the um, uh, JHAC homestead. Um, this is one of his projects, the chickens out here, the chicken coop, and getting it up and running. And we've got lots of plants going in back here too. And uh, really, he does the major lifting and comes up with the um, design and build and very manly stuff. Just kidding. And then we, together, but these are dreams that we've all had together that we've been working on. And some of you may or may not know, over 6 years ago, I started down this pathway of urban homesteading, or really just backyard self-sufficiency with my family. Began these concepts. Backyard chickens, backyard gardens, beginning to get to the point where we were primarily locally sourcing our meat, or at least I was primarily sourcing my meat locally. And that kept me in the beginning out of a lot of places that had, a lot of fast food types of restaurants, because I wasn't really that interested in eating that meat, and really went mostly for game and wild catch at that time. And then, uh, years later, we're in a different position, but that's what led me down the path of working to begin the development of kind of a slow food network, a local food network in the Coastal Bend and Corpus Christi. And so 6 years later, fast forward, we're now really getting back to the idea that Joe and I's heads are kind of above water now. We've got a good team of volunteers involved in Grow Local that help us all keep it up and running, and growing the way that it needs to be growing. A good team of staff that really understand their leadership skills and are beginning to really understand the mission of the organization, and that gives us the ability to do a little bit of stuff for our own personal health, which is a place that we really truly needed to get back to very strongly. And so this is kind of what I've been reflecting on this morning, after the big hurricane that we had a few weeks ago, the hurricane that just entered the Florida area, Irma. Ours was hurricane a few weeks before that. Harvey, a few weeks before that. And so I'm just reflecting this morning on, what does this all mean to me and the next part of the journey. It's not surprising that about every 6 to 7 years there's kind of a turnover again. I know there's been a lot of us out here that have been kind of looking for what change was going to look like when it began to come. For me, this change is a real positive forward movement. And I'm very excited about the next stages of what that all means for my community, and my health and my family as well. Other big things that have happened this year, and interesting to note that today is September the 11th, which is another profound, memorable date in the history of American culture, 9/11. I actually remember where I was that morning when all of it happened. I remember how old my son, who's going to be 18, was at the time. He was about to turn 3. And we had just recently moved back to Corpus Christi from College Station, where we'd been going to school and working up there. And so all of these major indicators in our lives of major change are interestingly coming together at a very poignant moment in my life. And so kind of the next stages of development for my person is a development of my own personal healthy lifestyle business, consulting business, wanting to call it healthy lifestyle conversations with AC, that kind of stuff. Those are actually some of the conversations that are being had throughout the country and throughout the world right now about how some of the dreamers and some of the leaders feel is the best way for us to continue to move forward as a whole aware, creative society, and understanding how balancing of energy and balancing of resources is nature's way, and it will happen whether we allow it or try to control it or not. And so we think that conversations is probably one of the most relevant ways to create that kind of forward change in the idea of exactly how we want it to look through change. And so I would take this opportunity as a person to decide how it is that you want the future to look right now, and begin to put those intentions in place and have those conversations with your friends. And be careful, because we know without a doubt that the conversations we have lead to the future development and creation of our world. And so I just leave you with that today. Little farm TV out here. I leave you with that today, and just want to say love to all, and hoping for the best in all of this forward momentum and all the exciting times to come ahead of us. Have a great day. Happy Monday, and many blessings to all that are being affected by the realities of life, and to all that are remembering how the realities of life can really affect us every single day. As I listen to the sounds of urban life around me, it gives me a higher level of gratitude for the privileged life and the easy life that we live in America, and in my Corpus Christi that I live in right here, in the community that I live in. Thank you.